Manny Pacquiao, you're not on my level. Manny Pacquiao, you will never be on my level. Period. Simple and plain. Accept the loss and say, you know what, Mayweather, you know what? You was the better fighter. It's okay to be number two. It's okay to be right behind me.
Floyd was in his prime. That would have been incredible to see which style's superior. Because Floyd would move towards you like this, he would just get right up on you. It would just show you how good Floyd really is. Because the fact that he's won decisions by, playing it safe.
In a jaw-dropping moment that left both fans and host Joe Rogan stunned, Floyd Mayweather delivered a chilling message to longtime rival Manny Pacquiao during a recent appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience. What started as a reflective discussion on legacy and greatness quickly took a sharp turn when Mayweather, oozing his trademark confidence, directly addressed the swirling rumors of Pacquiao's potential comeback. With Rogan briefly at a loss for words, Mayweather didn't hold back, making it crystal clear that if Pacquiao is seriously considering stepping back into the ring with Money Mayweather, he better be prepared for a brutal...
I don't have that in my mind right now because my focus on Saturday. I always say one at a time. Let's talk about it after the fight, and let me focus this coming fight because this is not an easy opponent. Like, he's a champion. He's taller than me, so I have to be ready 100% mentally, 100% physically, and 100% of course, like the way I pray to God.
To fully grasp the significance of Mayweather's recent warning, it's essential to revisit the legendary rivalry between these two icons. Floyd Mayweather, with an undefeated 52-0 record, and Manny Pacquiao boasting an astonishing 6-2-8-2 career, have long been hailed as two of the greatest boxers of their generation. Their long-awaited clash in May 2015, billed as the fight of the century, became one of the highest-grossing events in boxing history. Though Mayweather emerged victorious by unanimous decision, the result has remained a topic of heated debate among fans and analysts, with many pointing to Pacquiao's injured shoulder and an underwhelming performance from both fighters as key factors in the controversy.
His left hand was fast, his right hand was fast, and he was throwing them both fast and strong. But when it's all said and done, he was a beat fighter. From round one, he knew it. I can't beat Floyd Mayweather. 6 days before the fight, he boxed 4 rounds. And if you go look, when he came out to Las Vegas, he was throwing combinations. Everything seemed just fine. Waving to the crowd, both hands. Manny Pacquiao, you're not on my level. Manny Pacquiao, you will never be on my level. Period. Simple and plain. If you lost, accept the loss and say, you know what, Mayweather, you know what? You was the better fighter. You was the better fighter. It's okay to be number two. It's okay to be right behind me. It's okay.
For years, Pacquiao campaigned for a rematch, insisting he wasn't at full strength during their first encounter and promising to show the world he could beat the undefeated champion. Mayweather, on the other hand, consistently brushed off challenges, opting to stay retired, concentrate on lucrative exhibition fights, and continue expanding his brand outside the ring.
Manny Pacquiao shares his thoughts on a rematch with Floyd Mayweather.
In the future, would you ever do a rematch versus Floyd Mayweather?
I'm active. He's not, so hard to say.
If he were to be active, would you consider?
If he wants, I don't think he will fight.
This next year, I hope to see you here in Japan again with a big fight against
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather, yeah.
The rivalry between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao remains one of the most iconic and profitable in boxing history. Stretching across more than a decade, their long-awaited showdown in 2015 was the result of years of hype, complex negotiations, and overwhelming public demand. Talks of a potential fight first began around 2009, when both fighters were at the peak of their powers. However, disputes over drug testing protocols and promotional conflicts kept the mega fight on hold for several years.
Any version of Mayweather would have always beaten Pacquiao, in my opinion. I think Mayweather would have always done what's necessary for Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao had a greater career, but I think Mayweather is a better fighter. And I think Mayweather had the right things for somebody like Pacquiao. I mean, he had the right one-punch speed. He had the right IQ. He was bigger than Manny with longer arms. He had great feet. It's just a kryptonite for Manny Pacquiao. I personally thought so.
Manny Pacquiao spoke about that he shouldn't have.
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather, yeah.
Because it's a time and a place for everything. I'm not gonna say he's right and I'm not gonna say he's wrong. You know, but it's so crazy. When he spoke about it, I could have easily came out and said, yeah, you spoke about it. I ain't have to say nothing. Just by you saying my name, they gave me a check for $4 million. He said my name when he didn't supposed to. Remember I said, it's a time and a place for any and everything.
In a bizarre interview that quickly went viral, boxing legend Manny Pacquiao made a bold claim. He believes he actually defeated Floyd Mayweather. Speaking with a straight face, the 8-division world champion explained that when their 2015 mega fight is viewed in slow motion, you can see I landed more punches. The unexpected statement stunned fans and reignited debate over the controversial bout, which ended in a unanimous decision victory for Mayweather. Pacquiao once again pointed to the shoulder injury he sustained before the fight as a major factor in his performance, but according to him, the slow-motion replay tells a different story.
I went to the hospital and got operated with my
Yeah, you got an operation, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you posted a picture of...
Really hurt.
Was he better or worse than you thought he was?
No, that's his style. Like, I knew it. But the thing is, I'm expecting that I won the fight because he didn't throw a lot of punches. I throw a lot of punches. And I reviewed the compy box, like slow motion from first round to 12 rounds. Like how many punches get connected and how many punches of him he connected. You know, that's boxing.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining or making, just it happened that way. Yeah. It happened to me many times.
Did you want a rematch with Floyd?
I'm still active. It's up to him if he...
You got a lot of slack for saying Manny Pacquiao is a better pound-for-pound fighter than Floyd Mayweather. I actually disagreed with you.
Pacquiao wasn't able to make flyweight. He was a flyweight who won the lineal championship. So if that's not the most, or one of the 2 or 3 most impressive things in the history of boxing, the fact that he could move up, give me an example of another flyweight who was the lineal champion, moved up, won a bunch of titles in between, and then was that good as a welterweight. Pacquiao won lineal titles, indisputable, that's the man who beat the man, or else putting belts together. No one had ever done it before, ever. A lot of great flyweights. No one ever did that. No one ever came close to dreaming about doing that, and then Pacquiao did it. So the fact that Pacquiao is even competitive with Floyd Mayweather, who's one of the greatest pure boxers ever, I really don't have a horse in the race. I always thought Mayweather was going to beat Pacquiao. I never thought Pacquiao was going to beat him.
Joe Rogan expressed genuine surprise at Floyd Mayweather's physical condition, remarking on how incredibly fit he remains despite his age. During their conversation, Rogan pointed out that Mayweather doesn't just look good, he still moves with the same speed and precision that defined his prime. He praised Floyd's unwavering discipline, rigorous training habits, and clean lifestyle, noting that they've clearly paid off. Rogan was impressed by Mayweather's ability to maintain such peak form in retirement, calling it rare to see a former athlete sustain that level of intensity and mental sharpness. In Rogan's eyes, Floyd is still operating at an elite level, both physically and mentally.
Floyd Mayweather used to have these crazy workouts and he would crack open a Pepsi. And people are like, what the f is he doing? Like, he's crazy. But no, he's not. He's smart. And you would think, like, there's no way this guy, he treats his body like a temple. But he does. That guy did it the right way. Never drank, never partied, would run home from the club at 2 o'clock in the morning. If boxing is hit and don't get hit, who's better than Floyd? How many people cracked him? Chain cracked him? My God, knocked his tooth out and then would carry it around on a necklace.
That's second fight.
Despite amassing hundreds of millions over his legendary career, Floyd Mayweather, like many elite athletes, faces ongoing financial responsibilities that demand strategic management. His extravagant lifestyle, business ventures, hefty tax obligations, and the cost of maintaining a large entourage can put pressure on even the wealthiest of fortunes. To ensure long-term financial stability, Mayweather wisely pivoted to exhibition fights. These high-profile events allow him to earn substantial paydays without the physical toll of full-scale professional bouts. By capitalizing on his global brand and name recognition, he continues to generate income while safeguarding his health. It's a calculated move that not only preserves his wealth, but also cements his reputation as a shrewd businessman in and out of the ring.
Floyd Money Mayweather up until recently didn't have any money. So Floyd is the highest earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this LA mansion. It was so bad that he actually owed $22.2 million to the IRS, which made him have to come out of retirement to pay that back. Like and follow for more.
Rogan didn't hold back in his critique, suggesting that Floyd Mayweather's fame wasn't rooted in raw, explosive talent like Mike Tyson's, but rather in his brash persona and unapologetic arrogance. According to Rogan, Mayweather carefully crafted an image that many found infuriating, and that was the point. People didn't tune in because they admired him. They tuned in, hoping to see him lose. While this strategy undoubtedly boosted pay-per-view numbers, Rogan argued it built a fan base fueled more by resentment than genuine respect.
Again, this John Gotti III, who is a very good up-and-coming MMA fighter. So, he has all the weapons, takedowns, submissions, kicks, all that jazz. But he's choosing to fight Floyd in a boxing fight just for money, just like Conor McGregor did. It's really a trick. He gets these people to box with him. They have no business boxing with him. And he's making millions and millions of dollars doing this way after his competitive career is over.
Well,
which is,
I guess he's earned that right.
Hey, man, he's a genius. He really is a genius. He's a genius in figuring out a way to keep making money. And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but I want to show you.
Rogan described the entire sequence as wild, highlighting how Mayweather completely controlled the ring and toyed with Gotti throughout the fight. The tension boiled over when Gotti repeatedly clinched and ignored the referee's warnings, leading to a mid-fight altercation. Rogan noted that Gotti spent most of the bout on the defensive, resorting to holding as Mayweather picked him apart with sharp counterpunches. But the real drama unfolded during their rematch in Mexico. Mayweather landed a clean right hook by all standards, yet the referee inexplicably ruled it illegal. Rogan was livid, calling the officiating a disgrace. The first referee was awful, he said. They should have fired him mid-fight. Get him the hell out of there. Floyd was 100% in the right.
Did you see the Mayweather-Gotti thing yesterday? So John Gotti, the mobster, his grandson,
the brawl,
he was holding. So Floyd is just piecing him up. Even at 46, he's the greatest of all time. And this kid is really an MMA fighter. He's a tough guy. He caught Floyd a couple times with some little shots. But mostly he's just getting boxed up. Boxed up by literally the greatest boxer of all time. But he was holding on quite a bit and wouldn't let go and was trying to hold and clinch and hit, which is something you can do in MMA. So he's protecting himself from Floyd, but he's not letting go. And so Kenny Bayless gets tired of him not listening and not letting go, and he pushes him off and he says, that's it, I'm stopping this fight. That's it. You won't listen to me, I am calling this fight. So he goes crazy and gets away from Kenny Bayless and just starts wailing punches at Floyd. Look at this, Floyd catches him with a counter right there. Bang! It became a melee.
In a recent interview, former world champion Ricky Hatton offered a candid perspective on the long-standing debate between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Having faced both legends at the height of their powers, Hatton acknowledged Pacquiao's explosive speed and relentless aggression, but ultimately gave the edge to Mayweather. He praised Mayweather's defensive genius and exceptional ring IQ, highlighting his unmatched ability to neutralize opponents and adjust on the fly. While Hatton expressed deep respect for both fighters, he concluded that Mayweather's undefeated record and strategic mastery make him the superior boxer in terms of control, consistency, and overall dominance.
You fought both, obviously. In your opinion, who's better? Who's tougher?
I think Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, I think Floyd Mayweather. I mean, and that sounds rich because he absolutely was probably one of the most brutal knockouts in boxing history, I'd say. You know what I mean? When I see him getting knocked out by Pacquiao on Instagram or YouTube or anything like that, it's in the top 10 of the most destructive knockouts of all time.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit past myself back in the day. I'd had one or two. I wasn't a master of defence like Floyd Mayweather. I'd take 4 to get one in sometimes, And,
I'm the same, Ricky.
And in between fights, I'd be up in weight, down in weight, up and down in weight. On the lash and and all that stuff and that. So wasn't looking after my body like an athlete probably should have done. And I think I was, by the time I got in the ring for the Manny Pacquiao thing, I was a little more a shell of myself. But I think when I fought Floyd, I was a little bit more, something like, you know what I mean? Yeah, but when I fought Manny, I think I think the light had burnt out, yeah.
George Cambasis Jr. had the unique opportunity to train alongside Manny Pacquiao, an experience he says profoundly shaped his growth as a boxer. He often reflects on how those sessions taught him far more than just punches. They instilled mindset, discipline, and the drive to push beyond his limits. For Cambasis, Pacquiao's influence went beyond physical skills. He demonstrated that boxing is as much a mental game as it is a physical one. Watching Pacquiao in training, Cambasis absorbed how to combine speed, intelligence, and preparation into a balanced, effective strategy.
Having trained with Manny Pacquiao had to be a huge asset for you, because even though Bay was probably your biggest name opponent up until then, you know, you'd been. How many rounds had you done with Manny?
250 rounds over 3 world title campaigns.
So it started with the Jeff Horn fight?
It did, yeah. When Jeff got obviously the fight with Manny Pacquiao, I was in Los Angeles, and I was sparring his ex-sparring partners, Jose Ramirez and Ray Beltran. I was doing 5-on-5, and these guys are good fighters, former world champions. And Freddie come over and goes, you know, Manny's got the Jeff Horn fight. So yeah, I'm hearing about it. He goes, well, you're sparring his sparring partners. How would you like to go against your countrymen and help Manny prepare? I said, Freddie, I'm all in. You know, I know he's my countryman, but this is an opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah,
Manny's my idol.
You can't pass that up.
So I had a fight a couple of weeks after the sparring sessions that I impressed and got the opportunity. So I still had to win that fight against Camille Bala in New Zealand. And in between that fight, I got a really bad cut on my eye. And the first thing that went to my head was, I got to sparring with Manny Pacquiao in a week and a half. I go, now this cut might stop it. So I wasn't even thinking about the opponent or thinking about the fight. I knew I was going to win this fight by any means, but I was thinking about my opportunity against Manny Pacquiao. But you know, we got there.
Did you
went
super
over.
glue it?
We got the stitches.
Yeah.
A week after the stitches came out, I was putting so much vitamin E cream and every bit of, you know, theory that I could find on the internet to make sure it closed up good. And
Mayweather has always been fiercely committed to protecting his legacy as an undefeated champion. This dedication has occasionally stirred controversy, especially during debates comparing his greatness to other fighters. One notable instance involves YouTuber Showbiz, the adult, who recounted a moment when Mayweather grew defensive after someone suggested Manny Pacquiao might be the better fighter. According to Showbiz, Mayweather responded by accusing Pacquiao of using performance-enhancing drugs, highlighting just how seriously he guards his place in boxing history and how sensitive he can be when his legacy is challenged.
Here we go. Who's greater than me? I said, Sugar Ray Robinson. He said, Sugar Ray Robinson, how many wins he got? I said, he got like over 150 wins. He stopped for a minute. He said, but who got more championship titles, me or him? I said, hold on, Floyd. He said, answer the question. I said, Floyd, there's more titles now than then. There was just one then. That's no fair. Answer the question. I said, okay, you. Do I not have 28 titles? And I was just like, I don't know. He said, oh, you're supposed to be the expert. But the reason why I said that is because there's minor and major titles. Who else greater than me? I said, Henry Armstrong, Roberto Duran. He said, oh my God. He said, you said something about Pacquiao. Yeah, I said, I think you'll beat Pacquiao every day of the week, but I think he had a greater career. He said, you ain't think Pacquiao was on steroids? I said, he didn't fail any tests, Floyd. He said, look at me in my eyes. I can't say, man, he didn't fail. He said, oh man, you failed. I saw that as a initiation. This is what you about to get. Nobody's greater than Floyd. My thing is, he should feel that way, but you can't expect everybody to feel that you're the greatest, Floyd.
Joe Rogan has frequently expressed his disappointment over the timing of the long-anticipated Mayweather vs. Pacquiao fight, believing it happened years too late. Looking back on their 2015 clash, Rogan argued that if the bout had taken place when both fighters were in their physical prime, perhaps during a major global event like the Riyadh season, it could have made boxing history. Instead, the fight fell short of those lofty expectations, in part because Pacquiao entered the ring carrying a shoulder injury. Joined by UFC veteran Jorge Masvidal, Rogan lamented that the matchup missed its chance to become a truly legendary moment in combat sports.
Some great fights never take place, or they take place too late, like Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. They fought too late. I mean, if that fight could have been arranged by Riyadh season, they probably would have caught them both in their prime, and it would have been chaos.
Yeah, Manny was done before that.
And he also had a blown shoulder going into the fight.
Yeah.
He needed shoulder surgery before the fight even started.